Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 175 of NasCard Radio. We're trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val, and with me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. Logan, how are you?
I'm feeling like I'm hanging out with the king.
Awesome. Uh, let's see. I guess we should thank our sponsor, Panini America, and do some shout outs. Of course, we want to welcome some new subscribers. Francisco Javier Mota, welcome aboard. And also Victor Santiago Jr., also welcome aboard.
Yep.
If you'll subscribe to the YouTube channel, we will give you a special shout out. And we appreciate it very much. And I guess we do some more shout outs too. To AJ West 92, Michael Haggard, Jason Freeman, Butch Oreo, Kyle Katz, Fiends, Ball Card Blog, West, Texas Cars, Cards, Comics, and Pit Road Network for the YouTube comments. We read them, so please leave them. Had some good discussion last week in the chat for last week's episode. And we got a great show for everybody today. Had some breaking news happen here for IndyCar trading cards. So excited to see that, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Prime, first off the line, released, and we'll talk a little bit about that. At the NASCAR Hall of Fame, they are inducting the latest three members. So we'll go over the three, kind of remind everybody and their rookie cards, and then we'll finish the show with King's Court.
Yep. And also, if you notice, I've got a different background this week. I'm actually at the NasCard Radio mothership.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. So,
Yes, we
um,
will.
all right. Um, is there anything else we want to do before we get started? Oh, I guess not. All right, let's jump real quick. Remind everybody when the next races are. The Craftsman Truck Series. Next race is going to be fresh from Florida 250. That's going to be the Daytona International Speedway, and that's going to be Friday, February 16th at 7:30 p.m. Moving on to Xfinity, their first race will be Beef. It's What's for Dinner 300, also at Daytona on Saturday, February 17th. The Cup race number one will be the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. That's going to be in Los Angeles Coliseum. That's Sunday, February 4th. So that's coming up. F1, we have to wait a little bit longer. The Bahrain Grand Prix is going to be March 1st. IndyCar Series first race will be March 10th. So a little bit of time here, but it's getting closer as we count down the days. So
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be cool.
awesome. Yes. Get back into the swing of things there. Um, with all the different circuits. So
It's
and
been a
again,
fun off season, but I'm looking forward to cars on the track.
oh yeah, and then all the different releases too for cards, because again, we're trading cards and racing meet. So, and speaking of that, the so we know about Prime. It's still on track for January 24th. So next week that should hit. And Chronicles looks like is set for February 7th, but that's subject to change. So, and I was thinking about, we're going to talk about Prime. We'll talk IndyCar first here. So let me share my screen. So shout out to Ken. He kind of brought this to our attention. IndyCar had their media days, production days. Um, what was it? Last week, I guess it was. And one of the drivers showed a card, and the Eagle Eye IndyCar guys, card collectors, saw that and mentioned that. So it's going to be from Parkside,
Yep.
and and right now, basically, there's not a lot of information up, so probably wasn't the best coordinated release or unveiling. Maybe they kind of jumped it there with the media thing, but that's really cool. Super excited. So we don't know about size of a checklist or how pack out's going to be, or if it's complete sets, or if there's going to be autos. I'm assuming there'll be autos, and then how many. So a lot of excitement there. They're getting their first major release set, I guess you would say, since 2007. Was it Rittenhouse, I believe it was.
But yeah, and just think some mem cards. That'll be cool. Hopefully there'll be mem cards in there. I'm sure there will be.
Well, yeah, sky's the limit. So there's a big, just could be anything. Love it. Some relics, fire suits, all kinds of
Yeah, I
stuff.
know Ken's going to be excited.
Yeah, that we were always been talking about, kind of that's been underserved, and this will show if there's a demand for it or not. I'm hoping there is, and this will stick, and we'll get sets year after year. But I definitely have to give a shout out. Chip Ganassi Racing last year releasing their kind of surprise, or maybe I would say a team set that they produced with the packs and random autographs in there, 100 of each. I think there was five autograph subjects there, and I think it was like almost a 30 card set. And it was a tough set to build. I'm still missing some cards,
Yeah, me too.
but they did a great job on it. So I'm hoping, well, hope that that was some of the inspiration there, and now they get a big, massive set. So, and those packs sold out quick, so
They
I would
did.
expect demand to be pretty good for this. So looking
I
forward to
wish
it.
I could have bought more, honestly.
Yeah, I think I bought 10 or 20 packs.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you got like what, 20 packs?
I
Something
don't.
like that.
Maybe it was 10. I don't know. It was, but they were a lot of fun. And I think I won a pack. I got one. I think that's still sealed.
Yeah, you did win that pack off of social media. That was really cool.
Yeah, I left it sealed. So probably not too many of those sealed ones left. I know Ken has a few. So
Yeah, I busted all five of mine.
a lot of fun. Okay, and so that was it for Parkside. And when we find out more information, trust me, we will let you know. And then let me share my screen again. There it goes, right there. And so here we have Prime. So Prime, first of the lines, sold. Me and Logan were kind of preoccupied with production day, so I didn't get to watch those prices. But I think I started at 500 and then went down to 250. Now I've heard, and I have not confirmed this, that um, they'd gone down to 250 for maybe a few minutes before the time ran out. But those included a purple parallel, 3 to less, impossible autos. So, and on the Panini site, they have coming soon regular boxes of primes. Again, there's 7 cards per pack. You get 1 pack a box. Look for 3 autograph, 3 memorabilia, and 1 base or base parallel per box on average. So those will be coming here, dropping next week, and you'll be able to. They're available on the big three and other places as well. And we just go through. We went through the sales sheet a while ago, but just to kind of go through and show some of these screens with images here that are the mock-ups. They had the NASCAR Hall of Fame logo there. They're showing that with the Jeff Gordon. Some of the relics, names, and tires. That's really cool. I think that's first.
Mm-hmm.
Dual signatures as another example, and then of course everybody loves the jumbo patch.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think it's going to be 100 card base set, kind of like what they've had in the past in like 2018 and 2019. So that's what I would assume because we haven't seen the checklist yet.
Right, we did look before the show. The checklist was not out yet. When that becomes available, we'll let folks know, and we'll dig through there to see what kind of if there's rookies or not, or if there's any other subsets or something like that. So it's a big set to chase with
I
one
mean,
base.
when you get one card per pack, that's going to be that's a toughie.
Yeah, and we got some of these race hues. So it's looking well. Prime is always a beautiful product. So
Yeah, and it's going to be a busy, like probably next month, 6 weeks, 2 months for racing card releases. So hopefully everything will go on schedule. Everything will fall out just like it should. And we're going to have a lot of stuff that we can buy, a lot of stuff we can trade. It's going to be fun.
yeah, hopefully we have a lot of product coming out between now and the national. So
Yep,
because
for
we got
sure.
to get through all that 2023 product and get on to the 2024 Donruss.
Yeah, because I mean, we still got to get to NT. Once we get to NT, we'll actually get to 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. And I'm curious to see those first off the line, those purples, what they look like, and some of that. I get, again when they release the checklist, we will see uh, what that encompasses. So
Yeah, I would like to think in the next 2 or 3 days, we'll probably start seeing some of these purple uh, inserts from first off the line. So it'll be cool to see what they look like. I don't know if you mentioned or not, but there's going to be autographs and the base cards as well.
I
So
did
pretty
a
cool.
little bit. Yeah, it's a beautiful looking product. So I'm looking forward to that. Price point's about 250. I think we've seen on the big three.
Yeah, I looked at it earlier. I think Steel City and Blowout had it 250, and David Adams had it 259.95. So that's what I saw.
Okay. Let's see. Anything else on Prime? I'll go to NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Yep, that's tomorrow night, or as we speak, it'll be the night of this drops.
Yes. Yeah. The new 2024 class, which just remind everybody, Dave Allison, right? Donnie Allison, Chad Knaus, and 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson. So we thought we'd go through and revisit their cards and their rookie cards. Some of the folks, a lot of people know Jimmie Johnson as rookie cards, but Donnie Allison and Chad Knaus might not be as much, and they don't have a lot of rookies. But with Donnie Allison, it's the 1989 Max. They had those a little subset in there with those gray bordered cards. So his rookie cards there, and then in the 1989-90 TG Racing Masters of Racing, 3 cards in there, cards 191, 192, and 193, and those are the 3 right there.
Yeah, those are cool cards, and I love those images, man. Especially that old Guard card down there, that Heartbreaker.
So that's in the gold series, right? If I remember right. And
Yes, I believe so.
so that's going to come in that like factory box, and that's also going to have the Wendell Scott and Herschel McGriff in there. So that's
Yep.
actually a pretty good little set.
Yeah, I enjoy that set. Plus, if you read the backs, you can learn a lot about NASCAR and NASCAR history.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wish Panini would kind of step up their game on the backs. Because to your point, you can learn a lot, statistics and other cool, interesting things from those cards. So back in the day, and Mr. Chad Knaus, crew chief. At first was a tire changer for Jeff Gordon, um, and so he has a few cards there with the 1995 finish line. That was a manufacturer, and it was card number 67. It was the Rainbow Warriors. That's the one to the right, and you can see the crew there behind the card. He's the last one, right over closest to Jeff's shoulder. with Ray Evernham. So uh, he learned, I guess, a few things from Ray Evernham, and went on to become the juggernaut crew chief of Jimmie Johnson. But so in the finish line, there's only uh, two parallels. There's a silver version and a printer's proof numbered at a three or print run of 398. And then there's that large tall boy card. That's from the 1995 Press Pass Optima XL, I guess for extra large. And that's card number 37. They did a little subset in that 1995 Optima XL with the Rainbow Warriors as well. So the Rainbow Warriors were a big, big thing back in the 90s there. And
Yes.
it's got a few parallels. It's got the regular base version, a cool blue. So the instead of gold foil, it has cool blue, and that was at a retail. There was a red hot foil that was hobby only, and then the die cut was only a print run of 360 of each.
Yeah, I got to find me one of those die cuts.
Yeah, those I looked at. I don't know how maybe it was last year looking for some of those, and they're kind of tough.
Yeah, I think they're just like any other tough card. They're in collections and they're going to stay there for a while.
Exactly, and so he went on to become Jimmie Johnson's crew chief, and those two were a deadly combination
No doubt.
for everybody else.
And now Chad's a deadly combination since he's now over all the teams, making them all better. Yeah. So
Yeah.
congrats to him.
Oh, yeah. And then the last of the three, Mr. Seven Time, Jimmie Johnson. We've talked about some of his stuff before, and his rookies were in 2000. He was in the Max. That's the one to the right there, and also Maximum
Yep.
card number 38. That's the one in the middle, and there's a couple of parallels to that. There's a die cut numbered to 250, and then there's an MPH. I don't remember how if that was die or if that was die cut with more die cut. And that's 92. There's a signatures autograph in 2000 maximum, and then also the Young Lions, which is one that me and Logan really like. Those Young Lions were one per box, and I think there were like nine to that insert set.
Trying to remember. I don't honestly remember what the amount of cars were in the set, but there are a lot of great young lions in there. You've got Matt Kenseth in there. You've got Kevin Harvick. You've got Adam Petty. So that's a great little insert set.
Yeah, and again, you only got one of those per box, so they are kind of tough. And like you
Yeah,
said,
and they're
there's some great young lines in there.
yeah, and they're tougher to grade too because if you look at the die cut, you got all those little bitty points and things that could get bent and damaged and dented and makes grading really tough.
Yeah, a lot of die cutting going on back in the day.
Indeed.
Because I was thinking of the maximum, all the the different generals, whatever, and it's all die cut, and then more die cut on top of the die cut. So, and then also some more of the Jimmie Johnsons there. Uh, let's start to the left. That was the Upper Deck Racing card number 38, and then you had SP Authentic. So in SP Authentic, he had, I don't know, maybe we want to say a base card. That's the one in the middle. That's the more iconic, I think. Only because the other one's a little tougher to find because it's, I guess you would say, a short print, and those were numbered. I think at a different levels, but the higher of the ones were like 2,500. So it's kind of like the 2000 SP Authentic football, with the Tom Brady, where um, there were only few a box and they were serial numbered. So there's a kind of a base set, and then the rest of the set is a little harder to put together because of the short prints.
Yeah, but that's a cool card to get, and it grades kind of tough as well, especially with that blue border or blue on the side on the left.
Exactly. And then of course there's the 2000 SP Authentic Sign of the Times. You have the base Sign of the Times, and of course that's that white card with a lot of space there for the autograph, and Jimmie sign like full name. And then there's also I think a gold version number or serial number to 25.
I don't know that I've ever seen one of those bad boys.
Now you say that, I don't
That's
think.
a heck of a card.
Yeah. So he has two autos, the Maximum and the SP Authentic, in his rookie year. And they've starting to get a little bit of traction. So they're not crazy expensive, probably between 100 and what, 100 and a quarter maybe.
I mean, for a 7-time champion, my God, I mean, those things are completely undervalued. And you look at all the hype on the F1, and then you go and look at NASCAR. I mean, Lewis Hamilton is what, a 7-time champion, and look at his stuff versus, Jeff, not Jeff, but Jimmie and Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Richard Petty. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and I know you're sitting down, but that card's going to be 24 years old.
Hey, nab you, boy. I'm going to hit
So
you with my walker.
so you got a rookie autograph of a 7-time champion for, like I said, 100, 125. That's one of the reasons I love NASCAR. You can pick those up. And it's not breaking the bank.
You're not really going to break the bank with much of anything until you start dabbling around with some of the STP cards, I think, and then maybe some of these one of ones. But other than that, I mean, as we've talked about it before in the past, NASCAR trading cards are highly collectible. They're highly affordable. It's so much fun.
Well, yeah. So just for an example, the one on the right, that short print, I think that 9 I picked up. What I say was like $25 or $30 graded, and a 9. I mean, you can't beat that.
God no.
So
I mean, that thing's out of 2,500, man. I mean, I know that sounds like a lot today. I mean, because you have these cards that are out of, 199, 50, 25, whatever, but still, I mean, that's a tough card.
yeah, also rookie of a 7-time champ. So anyway, um, those are the Jimmie Johnson rookies. So again, like you say, congratulations to those three. They'll be enshrined this weekend. So a lot of stuff happening here in Charlotte this week. Um, NASCAR had their production days, and you know that's one of the reasons Logan came, as well as visiting some other areas and shops in Charlotte. But we'll have to talk about that another day. But do we did go to Randleman today, and just kind of dropped into and we talked about before. If you haven't already done some TTM through the mail autograph request, make sure you send 2 items to Richard Petty Museum. You can check out their web address, their website, and there's an autograph request, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. But to send those out, and Richard will sign those, and you get them pretty quick, maybe a couple weeks max.
Within 2 weeks easily.
Yeah, so he's always going to the museum to sign stuff and not really fall behind. And um, so we went there today. I just had a feeling that he might be there today with everything going on with the Hall of Fame and stuff later on. So it probably made sense for him to pop in there today before things got busy with the Hall of Fame and stuff. So we got the kind of the first of those Petty 75th anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
So you picked up one of those, and I know that'll look great at your house. Um, so that was really nice. And we had a feeling that he might be there. And of course, with the King NASCAR here, we'll have to show you guys this one here. So we got to get a good picture here with the King. So it was always great to see him.
Yeah, he was looking good. I asked him how he was doing. He said he's feeling fine. I said that's good to hear. And I patted him on the back and shook his hand. And as you guys know, he's my hero, and I was absolutely in heaven. It's not my first time to meet the King, but I mean, every time you meet him, it's so special. I mean, the words escape me on how I feel about meeting him.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. It was always an honor, and the museum is awesome, and everything is signed in there. And if you want an autograph, that's the place to go. They had old postcards. We saw those. And those were all original from the, well, I guess what, 70s and 80s.
From the 70s and 80s. There's original postcards in there you can buy that are autographed by the king. They're in mint shape, and I don't remember the prices, but
I
I mean,
think
if
they
you
maybe were
visit
2 of it,
there, it's
maybe, maybe or less. I don't know, but
yeah.
everything, the signs. There's not that, is that kind of sign. There's all kinds of. There's the signs that are the regular petty garage, and then there's like ones that looked aged. And
And of
yeah,
course, and he
sure.
signed
Flip
this
that a little
too.
bit. Yeah, I was gonna say turn that a little bit. There you go. There it shows up really nice. It's a great autograph. And again, if you send them 2 cards or some stuff through the mail, as long as you include a self-addressed stamp down below or include postage if you're sending cars or whatever it is. I don't do the diecast through the mail, whatever, but um, he'll sign it, and then they have stuff there. I think like everything was signed, everything but the shirts. I think their hats were all signed.
Everything was signed. Val and I both left cards with a self-addressed stamped envelope for him to send back there. So she'll get Bonnie, the lady there who's in charge of the museum. She'll get them signed, and they'll come back. We'll probably have them in, probably I'd say about 10 days to 2 weeks. So it was cool. I just wanted to meet him again and shake his hand because we had heard he was there. In fact, when we went there, we had heard from Justin Channels. If you watched that episode where he met the king, that he has a black truck. And we looked outside and oh my God, there's the black truck out there. It's a black Dodge truck that we found out he brought it from Wyoming to here. He's going to get a new truck. Apparently, he's probably going to get a Toyota Tundra from what we heard. But this truck had a blue pinstripe. It was petty blue. So I told Val, I said, I think he's here. I'm pretty sure he's here. So I'm like walking around the complex trying to find him. And Val, he's smart. He figured out where he was. And while I'm out there just goofing around, he was back in the office with his daughter, and he was signing that sign and a bunch of other things. And according to what we heard, there's going to be all kinds of really cool uh, memorabilia and souvenirs for the 75th anniversary of Petty Enterprises or Petty Racing.
Yeah, and if you're in that area or you go, by Greensboro or Charlotte, I think it was what, an hour from Charlotte. Um, we had gone a few years ago when it was in the other location, but now you have the museum, and then you have another area that had memorabilia from Kyle and Adam Petty. The Petty Garage was there, and we saw Dale Inman, talked to him for a little bit.
We did.
So, so that was an extra bonus. And we also saw, which is now a historical site, the original Petty garage where Lee Petty worked on his cars, and Richard won his first championship in 1964 working out of that little garage. That was pretty impressive.
And it's itty bitty. I mean, I've been in bathrooms bigger than that thing.
Yeah, it was interesting. So again, I can't say enough if you're in the area to check it out, and if you're a Petty fan at all. So uh,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's it's just soaked in history there. Just the cars, the driver suits, the trophies, the memorabilia, and he also collects things. He collects pocket watches and guns, and he's got all that displayed there as well, with part all his collection. And it's just an amazing place to go. If you haven't been, you live anywhere close, you got to go.
the trophies, some of the trophies look like they were brand new. Lee's trophy, championship trophies, his championship trophies. There was a few areas, I guess, from the artifacts that they had for Richard, Lee, Maurice, and Dale Inman. I remember, like maybe it was Richard Petty's boots and Maurice's awards, his crew chief, or maybe it was a mechanic trophy, and there was other stuff for the other folks. And the other one I think that stuck out was the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Some of the voting books and the shovel that they used, I think, to do the first shovel full of dirt, whatever, when they had the ribbon cutting to build that site. So
Hmm.
I don't know if there's some of the things that pop to you.
Well, the thing that pops to me the most probably was the 67 Belvedere. And, it was, you know, as is in race condition. And I look inside that thing, it's like, my God, how did they drive these cars at, 170, 180 miles an hour around Daytona? It was just mind boggling to think that. But, he ended up winning 10 races in a row and 27 overall in 1967 in that car. So, and that's when they had the Hemi and everything. So, that was one of the cool things. Of course, there was a Superbird in there. One of the other things I really liked in there was the 1992 Pontiac, STP Pontiac, from his last race in Atlanta. And they've got that in there. And of course, he ended up, getting crashed and was on fire. And he had to go get the blank fire extinguisher. If you ever have seen the race on ESPN, but that car, I love that car too. So, but I love everything about it. There was not near enough time for me to even look at everything the way I wanted to today, especially since I was trying to find the king. But next time I get out here, I want to probably spend a good half day, if not more, going around and reading things and just really soaking in all that history.
Yeah, I was gonna say admission price was $12 for, I guess we'll say, general admission. There's senior rate and children's rate as well. So, um, and I totally had forgotten, but remind me when I went there that he was a drag racer.
Yeah, in 1965, when they outlawed the Hemi, he went drag racing, and he had the 43 Junior Plymouth, and he said that the races were just not long enough for him to enjoy it, so he had to get back to stock cars. So he did have the, I guess you want to call it, the lost season in 1965, but he did return in '66, and of course we all know the rest is history, literally.
Yeah, so he wins the championship and then goes drag racing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, NASCAR didn't want the Hemi. They outlawed it. Because they had like 100 horsepower on all the four teams and all the other teams. So I guess they were all pissed off. So they outlawed it.
Yeah, it was the same cubic inch engine, but it just had more horsepower.
I think it was at least 100 horsepower is what Dale Inman said. I think.
Yeah. So again, just kind of the recap on that. Um, so that's kind of what I guess what we've been doing. So uh, it's been incredible. And then we got the induction ceremony
Yeah, induction ceremony tomorrow night.
Friday.
I'm planning on going there. So I think Val's going to be getting ready for a card show. So I'm going to be solo. I won't have my wingman.
Yeah, well, we'll say we'll be at the Hickory show on Saturday. It's a Saturday only in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be cool, man. Yeah, so if you guys should be able to hear this and know that we'll be in Hickory. So if you're in the neighborhood, come see us.
yeah, definitely. So I think that's all we have right now for I guess we anything else before we go to King's Court.
No, man, I think it's time to run that beautiful bean footage.
All right.
All righty then. I had a fun time doing King's Court remotely this week, but I did knock it out. And we are going to start with our honorable mention number one. This was on the 13th of January. It's a 2022 Panini National Treasures Kevin Harvick Ford Jumbo Book Patch 101 Auto. They were asking, that's a cool patch, man. They were asking $500 for this, and it went for $250.
Oh man, that's good.
I think that's a pretty good price for one of
Left.
one. And there's going to be, that's a crossover collectible. You've got the Ford collectors, the car collector kind of people, and then you've got the NASCAR collectors. So I think that's a good price. I think the price that they paid was fair. Uh,
Future Hall of Famer.
Yep. He will definitely, in 2 years, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Honorable mention number 2. This was also on the 13th of January. It's a 2005 Futera Grand Prix F1 set. Plus, it includes a PSA 9 Rossi and Rakkinen rookie card, it says. Now, they were asking $375 for this set. Guess what? Somebody went click and they bought it for $375, which I think actually they did very good on that.
Yeah, I can't remember how many cards are in that set, but you do not see complete sets.
Oh, you don't see this in complete sets. I thought it was amazing, and I love the way these cards look. You know, they've got the close up portrait shots, and then they've got, you know, kind of another shot kind of blurred in the background with a different color. I just like the way they look. They're kind of clean. You know, they're not gaudy. There's not a lot of shininess. They're just nice looking cards.
Just showing
Yeah, I
some
think somebody
cards.
did quite well picking that up for $375, and apparently that somebody thought that price was too low, and I thought it was too, and that's what probably why somebody went click and bought it.
Yeah, Andretti.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You got a lot of past champions in there.
Yeah, it's
Schumacher.
yeah,
There you go. There's the graded cards.
it's a 9.
You got Rossi and Schumacher and Kimi Räikkönen.
As a 9, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, those are. I think whoever got a great deal. If again, I know I've said this a lot here lately, but if I had the money and I had seen that, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda, I'd have bought it. So that's how good of a deal I think that it is.
I that's the I don't remember any other 2005 sets I've ever seen. So
No, this is the first one I can remember. That's why I had it as my honorable mention.
very nice.
All
All
right,
right.
cool, man. All right, so next up's our Joker of the Week. This is on the 11th of January. It's 2013 Sport Kings Vintage Paper Cuts, 1/1, Juan Manuel Fangio. It's a BGS 9.5. They were asking $695 for this, and it ended up going for $300. That's the best offer. I think somebody stole this one too, because you know, Juan Manuel Fangio, he has a higher winning percentage than Lewis Hamilton. I think he won like 40 some odd percent, maybe 42, 43% of the races, versus, you know, Lewis Hamilton. You know, he won, like, you know, in the low 30s, I think, percent, maybe 32, 33% of the races. But you got to think, back when he was racing, they were only racing, you know, 8, 10 races a year versus, you know, the 22 or whatever that we're running now in Formula One. So just think if he had the chance to run a lot more races, how many he would win. Because I think he is the GOAT of Formula One. And then you follow closely probably by Lewis Hamilton. You know, and I had said this before in the PSA article and other things, but that's a cool auto. Man, whoever got this, they did great. Congrats to you guys.
Yeah, how much was this again?
It went for $300.
Yeah, that's a really nice auto. It's got a lot of characters. Cool.
Yeah, it is, man. All
All
right.
right.
So next up's our Jack of the Week. This was on the 12th of January, 2023 Topps Formula One Excellenza. McLaren Oscar Piastri rookie card out of 5. It says rare. Well, rare. But this thing actually went up for bidding, and it ended up at $1,314 with 24 bids for that card.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. I think it's kind of high, but you know, it is McLaren. You know, I'm thinking that McLaren's going to be tough this year with Red Bull. I am going to go out right now and say that I think you're going to see at least 3 or 4 wins out of McLaren this year, and I think Lando Calrissian Norris gets his first win, and maybe even Oscar Piastri may even sneak in a win. So we'll see. That's a cool card. It looks, and keep in mind, this card is raw.
Right.
It's 3 of 5.
I was just looking at this corner. It's got a penny sleeve, but the penny sleeve's been either cut, bent over. I don't know
I'm
what.
I'm looking at the screen. Ooh.
I I mean, I heard of some people cutting the corners of one side to be able to get the card in better. So,
Yeah, I don't know about that. That
yeah,
looks, yeah, that's a little scary to me.
in that one view, right? See, it's hard to tell here. I don't know if like it's been bunched up, but that right there it looks like it's been cut, but then folded over or something. So I don't know about that. Anyway, I digress. But that is it's a great looking card. They did a
Yeah, but
great job. That and I think that was wasn't a U.S. We didn't have access to it here. I think that was a UK only release.
yeah, it was. I think it was definitely a European release. So yeah, I think that's, again, I'm a cheapskate, but I think that was a high price. But
Yeah,
time will tell. I think, like I said, I think McLaren's going to have a great year this season. I think it's their year.
yeah.
All
It's a
right,
good looking card though.
it is.
I like that orange and black on that white. So all right,
Yep.
next.
All right, so our Queen of the Week. This was also on the 12th of January, 2021 National Treasures NASCAR Haley Deegan Danica Patrick dual auto numbered 13 of 15, and this card actually went out for bids as well. And it landed at $217.50 with 3 bids. I think it's a cool card.
I totally agree. They're on card. That blue definitely pops on that white background, and it's interesting they have the green and the black in their fire suits.
Yes, I think that's, yeah. It's kind of reverse. yeah,
Well, they
Haley's got the black and green, and then Danica's got the green and black.
and their name is highlighted in green there on the card. So, but I think it was a decent price. I don't.
Yeah, I think that price was fair. In fact, it may be a little bit low because you got to think you got the dual crossover collectors. You got the Haley collectors and you got the Danica collectors going for this. So
Right.
I think it's a low price. I think it's probably, because we've seen other cards go for way more than this, and this is probably at least a 250 or $300 card at least. So it's a cool card. Congrats to whoever got it. I think they did well.
Yeah.
And that number 13 is also Haley's truck number.
Oh yeah. Okay. You're
Yeah,
right.
so there you
I,
go.
she was in the one. She was in the 13. I can't keep track.
Yep, and then she's gonna be what, in the 25 in Bush slash, I say Bush Xfinity this
Yeah.
year.
All right. Let's keep moving.
All right, next up's our King of the Week.
Ooh.
Long live the King. This is on the 11th of January. It's a 2020 Topps Chrome, number 166 F1 Lando Calrissian Norris, number 4 of 5, Red Refractor Sapphire. It's a 1 of 1. And it's a pretty cool card. And I don't think Lando Calrissian Norris has ever been our King of the Week, but they were asking $1,798.99 for this card, and they accepted the best offer of $1,099.99 for this card. So basically $1,100 for this card. So what do you think?
That's kind of not my playground, but it I like it's a 9, and it's got some it's got color all the way to the edges, so it must look really nice in person, with the foil and that red and the dark black and stuff in the corner. So um again, it's not something that I would be interested in, but it's a nice card. I mean, I guess I can appreciate the price here because we're talking about a 4 out of 5. It's a 2020. It's got the rookie badge I see down here in the corner, and it's pretty nice. It's a
Like
red
the
sapphire sapphire, so
Yeah, yeah, it does. Because I was getting ready to getting ready to say that very thing. It looks like it's fire in the background, so it's you've definitely got some hashtag slab fire going on there.
Yeah. And again, a PSA 9, we know how those chromes are. So,
Oh yeah, and I think he's going to win his first race this year. So we'll see. We'll see what
yeah,
happens.
I think it was a few episodes ago we talked about Lando, and I think maybe it was his autograph, and it was like $400-$500 if I remember. And I'm like, that's it's not something it's kind of out of my range, but I think that's actually a good deal considering what's going on. I think,
Hmm.
um, we're somewhat speculating that he's going to win a race or two, and uh, you know, take some of those wins away from Max. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think this. I think we're going to see a little bit more parity this year in Formula One, and I'm really hoping so because I don't have anything against Max, but my gosh, every week we're talking about race winners, and it's Max Verstappen. So
Yeah,
I just want to see some new blood.
I throw out the numbers. I remember Red Bull won 95-96% of their total races. They
Yep,
won all but one, and Max himself won. I think it was 86-87% of the races. So I'm hoping for a little more parity here. So
definitely.
or our racing recap for F1's gonna be pretty repetitive.
Same song, different verse. Yeah.
Exactly. So all right.
All right, next up is our Ace of the Week, which is our one of one. This was on the 15th of January. Check this out. It's a 2019 Panini Victory Lane Richard Petty printing plate, and it's a one of one. A lot of one of ones this week. And it's card number 99. And of course, as you can see, it's graded by PSA. And you got to think that, these printing plates, they get scratched and things. They are metal, so they are kind of tough to grade. But this one ended up at $500 with one bid.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. And it's the yellow printing plate. So I think that's pretty cool. Of course, me and Richard Petty. I'm always digging stuff like this. But it's like I said, it's only a PSA. I think the description says PSA. Actually,
It
PSA.
doesn't say
No, it
anything.
doesn't.
This is PSA
No,
mint.
they've
Mere,
changed it
yeah,
because we cut and pasted that out, and it was PSA 9, and they took that out, and it's actually a PSA
you
8.
you can't modify after the auction ends. I don't think.
Well, something happened. That's weird, but anyway, it is a PSA 8, and that went for $500.
So I'm probably going to derail here the conversation, but I'm looking at this card here, and the area below that card, all that gray, that's like screaming that I got to crack this out and have Richard sign down there.
You better believe it.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I'll
Would you get
definitely
the
crack
you
this
get one
bad
of
boy
these
out and get
plates?
Richard to sign it.
Of course, hard getting him to kind of keep it down to the low. It'd be all over
Yeah,
that
because you
card, but
really can't. I mean, you can ask for anything you want, but he's going to do what he wants because he's the king, and you know what? He's earned that right. He can do what he wants.
that would be cool. Autograph down there. So anyway,
That's one you would have to take in person, I think,
oh yes,
and then ask him if he wouldn't mind signing it on the bottom, and he would. He's cool. I mean, we've met him a bunch of times. He's always been like the best.
yeah, you might actually get a story about that car.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, lastly, our Royal Flush of the Week. This was on the 11th of January. 2020 Topps Chrome F1 Lewis Hamilton Gold Wave Refractor. Number 32 of 50. It's a BGS 8.5. Of course, it's card number one. And I think this is the short print, right, Bell?
I don't know.
Or is it not? No,
I
it's
can't
not.
remember. I think it was him sitting as
Yeah,
the
him
short print.
sitting is the short print. So, yeah, this is the regular card. But they were asking, to me, this is kind of a pie in the sky number. They were asking $8,049.95 for this, and they accepted the best offer of $4,500 for this card.
Wow.
But we love gold. So that's a pretty cool looking card. It is an 8.5, and we all know the manufacturing difficulties that Topps had with this product. So
Yeah, the
yeah.
edges heard it with a 7.5 because I think the highest it can be is like 1 point over the lowest score or something, if I remember right. So that's
Uh,
seven.
so it's there is some kind of algorithm they use to calculate the final grade based on all the other criteria.
Because if I'm looking at it right, corners and centering were 9.5, surface was 8.5, and the edges heard it with 7.5. So
Yeah, I don't know if there's any chipping or what's really going on with that card, but I bet whoever pulled it was very excited when they pulled that one. I know
it's
I
a
would be.
yeah, yeah, it's awesome with that gold with that black suit. It kind of it pops big time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the orange cards and it's the gold cards that I think are really the best looking cards out of the Topps Chrome F1.
Yeah, I was just thinking of 2020, and these are numbered. This is card number one. This is a good one.
Yeah, it is. Of course, if this was a couple years ago, that card probably would have been, five times the price it is now. But I think $8,000. That's $8,049. Actually, excuse me,
Oh, four
$4,500
thousand. Yeah,
is
4,500.
pretty strong for that card, I think. But again, congrats to whoever got it because it's a great looking card, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what boxes is going for now after like 2 or 3 grand.
Wow. If we only knew now what we didn't know then.
Yeah. So you're probably better off just buying the card.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. Going back to Prime, that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the purple cards that I like and just buy those instead of buying the first off the line box. As much as I would like to have one, I'm just going to pick and choose which ones I want.
Gotcha.
So that's it for this week's King's Court.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just looking. The boxes are basically 2 grand now.
Wow,
So
impressive.
yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Yep, you're welcome. Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. Okay. Well. All right. Anything else? All right. I guess he says, I don't know. All right. Well, I guess for me and Logan, we appreciate you guys watching the show. And next week we're gonna have Mishan from Panini America. I can't wait for him to get back. So I guess we can't do this when you're back in Tennessee. So
Yeah, well, we're going to have Misha on. We'll probably talk more about the NASCAR production days, talk about our adventures here in North Carolina that we've had this week,
maybe
which we've
maybe
had a
what
blast so far.
you find at the show at the Hickory show.
And yeah, we've got things that have yet to be.
Because well, you're in racing country here, so
So we got one more quick thing we need to talk about. Racing Card Hall of Fame.
yes.
So voting for the Racing Card Hall of Fame is ongoing. The website is bit.ly/RCHOF ballot. And I know Val's got a graphic he's going to show here in a second. Password again is RCHOF, all caps. There you go. And like I said, voting is ongoing. It's going to be going to the 3rd of February. So we're about at the halfway point. So we got the crossed flags going on right now. But if you haven't voted, go out there and vote. Some of the cards that we thought would be on top, I think, are on top. There are a few little surprises. So make
Well,
your
every vote
voice heard.
counts. Yeah, every vote counts, right?
It does. It really does.
So again, list of 40 entries, and you are allowed to select 10. And please limit to voting only once. And what else do I want to say about it? Yeah, so it
Yeah.
ends at the end of the month, and this is going to be the inaugural selection. So
Yes, this is going to be the inaugural class of the Racing Card Hall of Fame, and we will be doing this again next year, and it'll be ongoing for as long as we can.
yep, sounds good.
So I think that's about it for this week. I mean, hashtag skid marks, hashtag slide fire, and Ty freaking Gibbs, and
Yep,
hashtag RCHOF.
definitely. So again, for me and Logan, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next week. We're out of here. We were. Now we are.